Hi, welcome to the Explainer series for Quant. Here we'll be using very simple concepts and apply it to CAT level problems and solve them as easily as possible. In this session, we will look at questions from algebra, from equations and inequalities in CAT and XAT papers. I would suggest pause this video, look at the PDF, link is available in the description of this video. Try to solve these questions on your own and then proceed with the rest of this session. Please do share this with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations. You can like and follow us on Facebook as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel to get live event and notifications for all the updates regarding CAT and other MBA entrance examination. You can also look at our WhatsApp as well as Telegram lists. You can join over there and we will update you. We don't spam over there. If you want, you can enroll for our Quant and LRDI courses. These are the best and the most comprehensive courses available in the market. Now, integral value solutions or integer value solutions is one area where a lot of students try to learn a lot of magic tricks and shortcuts, etc., to solve these questions. Instead of trying to, learn new formulas, concepts, etc., we will try to use existing theories that we already know and try to solve these questions. Right? We will try to use as little of shortcuts and techniques to solve these questions. We'll solve as many of these from basic fundamental principles as much as possible. Let's look at something which came up in CAT recently. This is from CAT 2017, slot 1. It says how many integers n will the inequality n minus 5 into n minus 10 minus 3 into n minus 2 is less than equal to 0 will be satisfied. Right. Let's first find the range. I mean, we can use the wavy curve method or quadratic inequalities to solve this. Let's try to do this. If you expand this, you will get n square minus 15n plus 50 minus 3n plus 6 should be less than equal to 0. This will give you n square minus 15 minus 15 and 3 will be 18. 50 and 6 will be 56. Should be less than equal to 0. Now to split this, 56 is 14 into 4. So n square minus 14n minus 4n plus 56 should be less than equal to 0. So n minus 14 into n minus 4 should be less than equal to 0. Right. Plot the curve. You have 4 and 14 as the major points. Right. This is a curve which will open upwards. It will go like this. Right. You want less than equal to 0. So the range from 4 to 14 is what you're looking at. Now we want integer solutions. So all integers from 4 till 14. So 4, 5, 6 till 14. How many integers? 11 integers will be there. Pretty straightforward to solve this. A similar sort of question, which I'm told came up in CAT in the dark ages from CAT 2009 to CAT 2016, where basically anyone could say that this is a past CAT question. Right? This will be something which would have seen in multiple forms in your mock tests. Right? So let's try to solve this. It says if x is a natural number less than 200. So x is less than 200. It's a natural number, so it has to be 1 or higher. Right, less than 200. Then how many values of x is the inequality? X minus 50 into x minus 52 to x minus 54 into x minus 56 till x minus 150 greater than 0 is satisfied. Right. So we already know what the significant points are. The significant points will be 50, 52, 54, 56, so on to 148, 150. Right. Now I know anything beyond 150 will be positive. Right. The curve will be all positive. Right. Because all these values, say take any value, say let's say 151. If you put 151, this will be positive, this will be positive, this will be positive, this will be positive. All of these values will be positive. Multiply n positive numbers, you'll get a positive number. So beyond 150, everything will be positive. So all numbers from 151 till 199. We cannot take 200, it has to be less than 200. So 151 to 199, all these numbers will be positive. How many numbers are there? 49 numbers. Right. Okay. Now we need to figure out how the curve behaves. So less than 150, it will go down. Then from 148, it will go up. Again, using the wavy curve method. All right. We need to figure out how will the other end behave? How will the other end behave? Right. How many numbers are, how many expressions are we looking at? 50, 52, 54, 56 till 150. So we'll have from 50 to 150, gap is 2. Right, so we are looking at 51 numbers. You can also use arithmetic progressions to figure out, right? So we'll have 51 numbers, which we are, or 51 expressions, algebraic expressions, which you are talking about, right? They are getting multiplied. Okay, so if I take a value, say x is equal to, say 49, right? It will be negative, 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 negative. All of them will be negative. 51 negative numbers, when you multiply them, the final answer will be a negative. So before 50, it will be negative. So the curve will go like this. Right? It will go something like this, and it will continue keeping going. It's almost like a sinusoidal curve. It's not exactly a sinusoidal curve. It looks like a sinusoidal curve, right? It will keep on going there. So now I need to find out where will it turn positive. Now between 50 and 52, the only integer which satisfies will be 51, right? 52, it becomes 0. 53, it will be negative. 54, it's 0. 55, it will become positive. 56, 57, it will be negative. 58 will be 0. 59, again it will be positive, and so on. Till when it will go up? 151, again it becomes positive. Right, it'll keep on going if I keep on increasing the gap. So the last number here, which works, will be 147. Right, so from 51 to 147. How will you figure out how many numbers are there? Right, this is your first number. What is the last term? The gap is 4. Right, so 51 plus n minus 1 into 4 equals 147 if you want to use arithmetic progression. So n minus 1 will be 147 minus 51 is 96 divided by 4, which is 24. So n minus 1 is 24, so n will be 25. There are 25 numbers here plus another 49 numbers, so 74 overall will be your correct choice. Overall, 74 integers or natural numbers which are less than 200 which will satisfy this relationship. Again, in an exam situation, if you know the wavy curve method, if you know how to plot this, under 2 minutes to solve this, no special formulas required. The next set of questions is basically when you have to solve a linear equation. You have one linear equation with two unknowns, right? And you have to find integer value solutions for this. Again, you can solve it using the broad set of equations called the Diophantine equations. I have given the link to the Wikipedia page if you want to understand the theory behind Diophantine equations. There are multiple cases over there. Honestly, that is not under the scope of the CAT examination. You can actually just simulate the values, especially when you have options. You can just simulate the values and get the answer to this. Let's see what the broad way of how to go about solving this. This is from CAT 2003, the repeat paper. It says 5x plus 19 equals 64. X and y are integers. So whether x is positive or negative, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is know is x and y should be integers. X and y should be integers. So let's try to fix this. You need y will be equal to 64 minus 5x divided by 64 minus 5x divided by 19. Right. Now, for y to be an integer, 64 minus 5x should be a multiple of 19. Only then it will satisfy. What are the multiples of 19 that you have? Let's take positive values over here. Multiples of 19 are 19, you have 38, then you have 57. Below 64, these are the values. Now to reach 57, 64 minus 57 is 7. Can 5x be equal to 7? Given that x is also an integer, 5x cannot be 7. 64 minus 38 is 26. 26 is not a multiple of 5, so that is also out. Can it reach 19? Yes, it can reach 19. 64 minus 45 is 19. So if you put x is equal to 9, y will be equal to 1. If you put x is equal to 9, y will be equal to 1. Now we have found the first solution. How do we proceed from here? Now the next solution we'll find that the value of x will increase by the coefficient of y. The value of y will decrease by the coefficient of x. Right? Or it will go the other way around. The value of x will drop by the coefficient of y and value of y will increase by the coefficient of x. Because if x increases, y goes down. If y increases, then x goes down. This is the relation because it's a sum of these two is a constant. So if one goes up, the other has to go down. Right? So we can directly figure out when the next solution will be. Increase x by the coefficient of y. 19 plus 9 will be 28. So y will drop by the coefficient of x. 1 minus 5 will be minus 4. You can verify this. 28 into 5 is 140. Minus 19 into 4 will be 76. 140 minus 76 is 64. It will satisfy. You can try it the other way around as well. If you can reduce the value of x by the coefficient of y, and the value of y will increase by the coefficient of x. Let's see. 9, if I reduce by the coefficient of y, which is 19. 9 minus 19 will be minus 10. So y should increase by the coefficient of x. 1 plus 5 will be 6. You can verify. Minus 10 into 5 will be minus 50. Plus 19 into 6 is 114. 114 minus 50 is also 64. So this is the broad way of solving this set of equations. You find the first solution, and then if it is addition, then you basically keep on, if one increases, the other decreases. On the other hand, if it was subtraction, suppose it was something like this, 5x minus 4y equals 64. As x increases, y will also increase. As y increases, x will also increase. And similarly, as x decreases, y will also decrease. And there will be one value at which there'll be one value to start with, again like this case. Now you found the trend in how x and y proceed. You need to find the answer to this question. I mean, that was the bigger point, right? Let's see what this says. Your question was, where will you get, which of them will give you a range of the solution? Now, the easiest one to check are either C or D, right? Because you are checking only for X. In the other case, you are checking for both X and Y. So let's check for C or D. Easiest one to check is C. Now, for instance, X, what is the range in which X increases, right? X increases by 19 every time, right? So the next solution was this plus 19, then this plus 19, then this plus 19, and so on. So there will be one value. The gap here is 50, right? The gap here is 50. So there will be, and 19 is a lesser number than 50. So you'll definitely find one of the values of X, if you keep on increasing, where it will be between this range for sure. You can directly find out, for example, 19 into 10 is 190, right? 19 into 15 will be 190 plus 95, that's 285 plus 9, right? So 294, right? If you put x is equal to 294, y will be also a integer. You can easily verify that, right? So C will be an answer for sure. Right. Now, for academic purposes, you can figure out why A, B, and D are false, right? For instance, if you want to check why D is false, right? Y keeps on changing by 5, right? It will either increase by 5 or decrease by 5. So the solutions of Y, we need the negative range, right? So it will be 1, then minus 4, then minus 9, then minus 14, and so on. So in the 50s range, it will be minus 54 and minus 59. And these will be the two solutions for Y, right? It is outside this range, so D is out, right? There will be no solution for X less than 300 and Y less than 0. Now, the very first solution that we found, extra solution. So if you put Y is equal to minus 4, X will come out to be 9 plus 19, which is 28, right? This satisfies A, so this is also out. Similarly, you can find for B also, where it will be the case. Let's take a very extreme value, right? It will keep on changing by 5. So let's take y is equal to minus 99. If you substitute y is equal to minus 99, let's see what x will be. X will be 64 minus 19y. So it will be plus 19 into 99 divided by 5. 19 into 99. 99 into 100 into 19 is 1900. 100 into 99 will be 1900 minus 19. 1900 minus 19 is 1981 plus 64 will give you 2045. When you divide this by 5, this is definitely more than 250. So option B is also false. So option C is the correct choice. As we identified initially, C and D are the first things that we will start with. One of them will definitely give you an answer because of the wide range available here. In an exam situation, max 2 minutes once you know how to figure out the answer. The next one is from CAT 2006. It says the number of solution of the equation 2x plus y equals 40, where both x and y are positive integers and x is less than or equal to y. Now the restriction here is x has to be less than or equal to y. X cannot exceed the value of y, right? And both of them are positive integers, right? Let's see what happens when x is equal to y. That will be the upper bound, right? If I put x is equal to y here, right, you will get 2x plus x equals 40 or 3x equals 40. So x will be 13.33. So the moment x increases, now as x increases, y decreases, right? The moment x exceeds 13, right, it will become higher than y. So we know the upper bound of x is less than or equal to 13. Now let's see what we can put, right? If I put x is equal to 1, y will become 40 minus 2, which is 38, satisfies the answer. Right? If I put x is equal to 2, x increases by the coefficient of y, right? So y decreases by the coefficient of x, y should be 36, right? If I put x is equal to 3, increases by 1, y decreases by the coefficient of x, 34. This will keep on going on till x is equal to 13, that is the upper bound, right? If I put x is equal to 13, y will be from 1 to 13, 12 increases. So from 38, you'll have 12 decreases. 12 into 2 will be 24. It will drop by 24. 38 minus 24 will be 14. You can verify this. 2 into 13 is 26. 26 plus 14 is 40. This is the last value for x and y. So x can go take values from 1 to 13. Y can take values from 14 till 38 to solve this. 13 possible sets, option B. In an exam situation, under 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes max, once you get this upper bound and how the sensitivity of the variables are. And the last one, this is from XAT 2016. Again, not very difficult and no special techniques required. A, B, C are 3 consecutive integers between minus 10 and 10, both inclusive. How many integer values are possible for this expression? Now we'll substitute one of them, the lowest as k minus 1, the middle value as k, the highest value as k plus 1. Right, that will make our life easier. And what will be the range of k? Right, the lowest possible value of any of these 3 will be minus 10. This is the lowest, so will be when minus 10, minus 9, minus 8, that will be the lowest value. Right, what will be the highest value? When the highest of these 3 is equal to 10. Right, so 10, 9 and 8. So the range of k is from 9 to minus 9. Right, this will be the range of k if you take this as a expression. Right, let's try to expand this. So this will be, your numerator will be k cube plus k minus 1 whole cube plus k plus 1 whole cube plus 3k into k minus 1 into k plus 1, that's k square minus 1. The denominator will be k plus k minus 1 plus k plus 1 whole square, that will be 3k. Right, so the denominator will become 9k square. 3k whole square will be 9k square. Let's expand the numerator. So if I expand this, you'll get something like this. K minus 1 whole cube is using a minus b whole cube, and this is a plus b whole cube, and expanding this. So minus 3k square cancels with minus 3k square, minus 1 cancels with plus 1, and one of the minus 3k's will take out this. So your numerator becomes k, and 3. So 6k cube plus 3k divided by 9k square. This, if I divide by 3k numerator and denominator, you'll get 2k square plus 1 divided by 3k. This will be your value. Now you need to substitute k in such a way that this is an integer. Now if you put k as an even number, right? If you take any even number here, right? Numerator will be an odd number, denominator will be an even number. 3 into an even number will be even, numerator will be an odd number. Odd number divided by even number cannot give you a integer. So all even numbers are out. So you're left with minus 9, minus 7, minus 5, minus 3, minus 1, plus 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Right. If you put 9 or minus 9, right, denominator will be a multiple of 9, but numerator will not be a multiple of 9. So cannot be an integer. Same problem with 3 and minus 3, same problem with 7 and minus 7, same problem with 5 and minus 5. So the only two values which will satisfy are minus 1 and 1. Right, if you put minus 1 here, you'll get 2 plus 1 will be 3. 3 divided by minus 3 will be minus 1, integer. If you put k is equal to 1 here, it will be 3 divided by 3, which will be equal to 1. Again, integer. So only minus 1 and 1 satisfy. Option C will be your correct choice. As you can see, if you understand the basic concepts of algebra, expansion of numbers, etc., and your basic principles of how to manage inequalities, the questions on these integer value solutions are not very difficult. Each question can be solved in under 2 minutes time in an exam situation without learning any super awesome shortcuts or arcane methods. Just use basic principles, build them up from there, your job will be done. That completes this particular session. If you liked it, please do share it with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examination. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow our Facebook page. The links for our course are available on the description to this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye and all the best.